Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and a new month is upon us, so it's time to go over everything I picked up on Blu Ray at 4K Ultra HD for October 2022. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, it is a new month, so it's time to go over everything I picked up on Blu Ray at 4K Ultra HD for October 2022. If you're a physical media collector, you know that there were a ton of releases, especially on the 4K format, and especially when it comes to horror. I think this bodes well for what we could see in the horror genre going forward, and there are rumors of certain movies coming that I'm very excited about. But yeah, there was a lot of new releases, and I didn't dip too much into my wish list over on Amazon, but I did pick up one or two things, so let's not waste any time. Let's go over that. One of those wish list items, it was like $5, and I never actually owned a physical copy of this in my collection. I think maybe the DVD, but I don't know. I think this is the first time actually on Blu-ray. That is Arachnophobia. It's a really decent, and it's also one of those movies I actually remember going to the theater and seeing it in my experience. So I like it. It's really a solid thriller, and you know, I mean, the hopes of this getting a 4K in the future are kind of slim. So in the meantime, got the Blu-ray, very happy. This is a direct result of the sequel now hitting theaters. And this was also sitting on my wish list, but I wanted to, you know, finally grab it before it went out of print or something like that, because it's getting a little difficult to find. That is the original Terrifier. This one caught me completely by surprise when I saw it, and I was just, you know, very impressed with it. And, you know, maybe one day they'll get a 4K upgrade for this. But in the meantime, Blu-ray, very happy with that. This was released this month from the Criterion collection, and I would have liked this on 4K, but it is what it is. I'll accept the Blu-ray. That is Arsenic and Old Lace. If you've never seen it, Cary Grant is manic crazy in this one. Yeah, it's funny because I've seen him in many films, and he's just kind of off the wall on this. But this is a very decent comedy thriller. Really, it's more or less set in one location, the entire movie, but it's awesome. And it's definitely something you want to watch around Halloween time. But I encourage you, if you like a good classic, you know, Cary Grant film with a little bit of, you know, thriller elements and some great comedy. I laughed more than once at this one. But yeah, Arsenic and Old Lace is now available on the Criterion collection. This was another one I saw many years ago, never owned a physical copy, and I was very happy that Criterion decided to put this one out. That is Cure. This one still boggles me, like, what ultimately happens in this film, but it's so well crafted. It's a great mystery. I love it. And I really, you know, if you want something just very original, because you can't really think of many movies that are like this one. And I think you could definitely see where inspiration in future movies came from this. It really has a fantastic premise. And I really encourage you to watch it. Yeah, Cure, now on Blu-ray from the Criterion collection. Also from the Criterion collection, just released. I'd never seen this one. It was a blind buy. La Llorona. I just watched this one about 2 weeks ago. Good thriller. It's, of course, you have like the Curse of the La Llorona over on WB. This is its own thing, but it has sort of the same, you know, kind of spiritual essence to it. But I love the setup and how the supernatural elements fit into this. It's not all spelled out for you, but I really dig it, and it's something that, you know, I will definitely go back to. But yeah, I highly encourage you to check this one out on Blu-ray. As for 4K titles, this next one I picked up as an A24 exclusive, and that is Marcel, the Shell with the Shoes On. Very cute movie. I hadn't seen this one. This was a blind buy, but I've heard really good things. You can only get this over at A24's website. I liked it. I think the picture quality is also really top notch. And it's a fun little movie. It really is. It doesn't take itself, like, it's not super serious, but it has some good moments, and I really liked it. I think I would like to see more of this type of movie in the future, and, you know, good on A24 for making this available on 4K. This was a release from Kino lorber. I haven't seen this one too often, But revisiting it, I really enjoyed it. And of course, it's got a great cast with Robert De Niro, Edward Norton, and Marlon Brando. The score, great heist movie. It still holds up. I think the 4K transfer is really top notch. Well, it's really good. It's really good. And I think, you know, it's a fun movie. It's really entertaining, and I enjoy it. And I'm glad Kino put this one out on 4K. This was an import. They're releasing the third movie here in the States, but I wanted all three, and preferably in a collection, and I thought I would import it, and that is The Police Story. The whole trilogy in one set, released by Eureka. I like all three of the films. I've only watched the first one on 4K. The other two I haven't gotten to yet, but I'm anxious to look at the transfers. But the first one I thought looked really good. And, you know, every once in a while I like to import. I did actually quite a bit of importing this month, which I'll touch on in a little bit. But yeah, the Police Story trilogy, Jackie Chan, good stuff, good stuff. So yeah, it is now available. You have to import it. And once again, the third movie is going to be available shortly here in the States for you to pick up. This was a 4K exclusive to Best Buy. Once again, another blind buy, and I thought it was an okay thriller. I actually really did. I went into this kind of expecting to hate it, but I did have a couple friends tell me it was pretty solid, and I think ultimately it definitely has a lot to say. Bodies, bodies, bodies. I did a full 4K review if you want to check that one out. Very decent. The 4K transfer is good, and I think it's worth picking up and watching at least once. So yeah, you can only pick this one up at Best Buy, so if you're interested, go check it out. This was, Lionsgate has been re-releasing their movies in steelbook form, same transfers, just in steelbook. I have the slipcover, but something about the steelbook, I really liked it. The price was right. Punisher Warzone, which I also feel is a very underrated Punisher movie. I dig it. I like it a lot more than the Thomas Jane version, which I still enjoy that one too. It has its moments, but this one I felt was more hardcore Punisher. And the steelbook edition, you know, it's pretty cool. It has, you know, a nice little finish to it. So, yeah, I'm going to revisit this one fairly soon. But, yeah, that one is a Best Buy exclusive, so check that out. Another Kino lorber release. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I went on vacation when this came out, so I haven't sat down and looked at the transfer or anything. The Usual Suspects on 4K from Kino. I'm expecting good things for the transfer. So, yeah, I really like the movie. I've owned pretty much a physical copy in some format or another, and I'm anxious to be revisiting it now on the format. This was a complete blind buy. It's an action movie. It stars Brad Pitt, and I really liked it. The 4K is also excellent. The transfer and the audio is great. It's probably a contender for one of the top 10 discs of 2022. Bullet Train, released from Sony. Liked it. It's a fun story. Action-packed, a lot of great moments, fun characters, and if you're a 4K collector, you'll definitely enjoy the results on this disc. One of my favorite Sam Raimi movies finally arrived on 4K. It's a shame it's only the theatrical cut. I would have liked the extended director's cut also, but regardless, Army of Darkness, Steelbook Edition from Shout Factory Screen Factory. Liked everything about this. This is also probably one of my favorite Steelbook arts for the year. I dig this one immensely. I go back to it at least once or twice a year. It's so fun. I mean, it's a quick film. It moves in less than an hour and a half, and it's just entertaining. It's got great one-liners, and the 4K transfer is really decent. So get it, whether you get the slip, whether you get the Steelbook. Army of Darkness is now on 4K. Another 4K upgrade desperately needed for a sequel. Scream 2, while it's not the most perfect transfer out there, I think it's definitely better than the Blu Ray, no doubt about it. But yeah, this is pretty much, you know, indicating we're going to get the further sequels on 4K probably next year. And you know what? It's very decent. If you like, and I also really like the movie. As far as the Scream sequels go, I do enjoy it. Even back when it was released theatrical, I know it got a lot of hate. But I also feel that a lot of people kind of missed the point, you know, that the first movie was really trying to convey. And it does a great job with the second film. It starts to lose itself a little bit in the third and the fourth. But Scream 2, very underappreciated sequel. Now it is on 4K. Another Criterion release from director David Lynch. Of course, you say Criterion, David Lynch, 4K. I'm all over it. Lost Highway. Love this movie. It's just really moody, atmospheric. I love to pair this one with Mulholland Drive, and it just really has a good, just a really good transfer. 4K edition of Lost Highway is worth the money. Criterion sale is just about to go live over at Barnes & Noble in just a few short days. Take advantage of it. Pick this one up on 4K. You will not be disappointed. Another release from the Criterion collection on 4K, Night of the Living Dead, the original. Unfortunately, it does not have HDR support. Ultimately, the movie looks sharper on 4K. I wouldn't throw it, if you have the Blu Ray, I wouldn't necessarily throw out the Blu Ray for this. It has its, refinements, but if you can get this really for the cheap, then it's worth the upgrade. But I don't know, I think it still is a really fine looking film. The black and white feel is really great, but you just, I really think you might want to just weigh your decisions on it. But I think I'm happy with the 4K edition, and if you're into it, if you're a new buyer, definitely get the 4K, no doubt about it. This was a Vinegar Syndrome exclusive, and I've only seen this a few times, but I wanted to get the 4K edition. The Amityville Horror, really like it. It's not the most, it's got some great creepy moments to it, but after watching, I haven't seen this one in maybe 15, 20 years, and I was like watching, and I'm like, okay. It definitely is a little light on the scares, but I do enjoy it, and I think it is something that you should watch it. And the 4K edition looks great. Vinegar Syndrome really put out an excellent 4K disc. Awesome looking picture, and check it out. If you've never seen it, buy it for the first time on 4K. As of right now, it's only an exclusive at Vinegar Syndrome, but I believe it's going wide in the next month or two over on other online retailers like Amazon. So yeah, check it out. This was re-released from Sony in a steelbook plus a Dolby Vision grading. Sony seems to be doing this about once a month now with some of their older titles. Bram Stoker's Dracula, the 4K edition with Dolby Vision. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I can imagine it's really going to be a good improvement over the HDR only 4K disc. But yeah, really decent movie, fantastic, atmospheric, all the right things that you want. Francis Ford Coppola, I mean, come on. This one on 4K, can't wait to watch it again. I'll probably, get to it in the next couple of weeks, but yeah. Dolby Vision grading really was a selling point, so check it out now. This was a initial release from Sony, Fright Night on 4K. Really good looking transfer. I enjoy the movie. It does have a couple annoying characters in it, but it is what it is, but it's still really cool. I mean, it's great that we get a 4K edition. I never thought we would get a 4K of this. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. Check out my review for my thoughts on Fright Night on 4K. This was a good release. Picture was excellent, and classic black and white film. To Kill a Mockingbird, really, it's got some heavy moments to it, but classic cinema always shines on 4K. This one is no exception. I did a full review if you want to hear my thoughts. To Kill a Mockingbird, great classic cinema on 4K. So yeah, check this one out. Released from Shout Factory sort of unceremoniously this past month. Didn't even get a slipcover, which I found kind of disappointing. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I haven't had a chance to dive into this one yet on 4K, but I will very shortly. But yeah, I'm happy, to upgrade from the Blu Ray. I can imagine the improvements are going to be noticeable. So yeah, buy this one. Unfortunately, no slip. I know that means a lot to some people. But yeah, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is now on 4K. This was a Lionsgate Best Buy exclusive. It isn't a wide release yet, but that is The Limey in a 4K Steelbook edition. Really cool looking cover. I like this one. Steven Soderbergh is one of my favorite directors. I love anything he puts out. He's got a great variety and range and style, but yeah, Terrence Stamp, I love his character in this one, but the 4K edition, really solid. So yeah, buy this one over at Best Buy, and let me know in the comments if you've seen it and what did you think of the film. This was another release from Shout Factory Screen Factory, a Return of the Living Dead on 4K, really solid transfer. I like this one. I go back to it a couple times over the course of the formats and everything, but it's really good. It's a great comedy with some dark humor and some nice gory moments. And And I said this in my review, if I had to be stuck in a zombie apocalypse world, I would not want to be stuck in this one because the zombies are kind of deadly. I mean, you know, there's the whole thing. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, check out my review. But yeah, The Return of the Living Dead on 4K from Shout Factory, Scream Factory. Universal Monsters on 4K is always a good thing. And I have Dracula, the Wolfman, and Frankenstein as part of steelbooks from last year that were released at Best Buy. Unfortunately, they did not release The Invisible Man. Well, slipcover edition came out this year, so I finally picked it up, watched it about 2 weeks ago. I thought the transfer was excellent. It's also, you know, it's I feel very underrated. It definitely has some good dark stuff to it. So yeah, classic Universal Monsters on 4K. Check it out. Another release from Kino Lorber. They were quite busy this past month. Tropic Thunder. Once again, a little puzzling that the director's cut was not included in the 4K edition. It's on the Blu Ray. But yeah, either way, I think Tropic Thunder is a great comedy, especially the 2000s, where I feel comedy has gotten a little bit sanitized. But this one stands out particularly well. It's one of my top 3 of the 2000s. And I thought the transfer was really good. Did a full review if you want to hear my thoughts. So yeah, Tropic Thunder on 4K. Another release from Kino. I haven't had a chance to watch this one yet, but it's a classic Brian De Palma thriller, Dressed to Kill. I'm anxious to revisit. It's been many years since I've watched it, to the point I kind of forget some plot points. So it'll be almost like I'm going into it again for the first time. But yeah, Dressed to Kill from director Brian De Palma. Very anxious. Good on Kino for putting that one out. Another release from Shout Factory, Shout Factory only. Definitely not Scream Factory. The Last Detail. This is a blind buy. I have not seen it. I haven't watched it yet, but I wanted to. I've heard, you know, friends of mine mention it was really good. But Jack Nicholson on 4K. I'll be checking this one out very shortly, and I'll, you know, probably let you know my thoughts over on Letterboxd. This one came literally the 30th of the month, so it counts. It counts. I just did a full review. One of my favorite 4K discs of 2022, no doubt about it. Top Gun Maverick. I just did a review for it. Check out my thoughts, but wow, this is a home theater killer. It is great. It is a fantastic 4K disc. It's why we love physical media, because this destroys the digital version. At least when it comes to the audio, it completely is a whole different movie on disc. You know, just watch it. The 4K disc, recommended highly. Check out my review and let me know your thoughts in the comments. This was another contender of one of the best 2022 4K discs. Jordan Peele's Nope, Best Buy exclusive Steelbook edition. I really liked it. I liked it a lot more the second time than the first time. The first time I had some kind of mental questions and some, you know, I just had a couple of plot things that were not quite working out. And I still have a few concerns even after watching the movie, but I think it's excellent. I do feel that it's a stronger movie than Us, but it's still kind of not as good as Get Out. But Jordan Peele is only going up, and I can't wait to see what he has for us in the future. And the 4K disc, really solid stuff. Check out my review. It is absolutely a fantastic 4K disc. This is a blind buy. I'm anxious to check it out very, very soon. Let me know in the comments if you want to see this as a 4K review. Quiet Days in Clichy. I just have, you know, Cliff Notes version of description of it. A couple friends have recommended it, but I'm anxious to check it out. So let me know in the comments. If you want me to do a full review, just go ahead and give me a shout down there. This was another import. It was a limited edition as a 4K. They released a Blu Ray about a week or two ago here in the States, but no 4K disc is in sight. But I wanted a 4K, and I got a chance to watch it. Really liked it. Or the 4K disc. I've seen this movie many times. I haven't even owned, I think the last time I owned this was on Laserdisc. That is No Escape, starring the late, great Ray Liotta. The 4K edition, unfortunately, seems to be sold out internationally. I can't imagine they're not going to re-release this on 4K somewhere. So if you want the 4K disc, I would recommend that you wait. But yeah, it's a decent B-movie action film, good solid cast, and I think the characters are also very memorable. So yeah, No Escape on 4K, an international release. This is one that unfortunately I got information afterwards that a little bit of the color timing seems to be off on this 4K. This is an import. Apparently there's another version out there with the better color timing. Benedetta. I saw this one. I did want to get a 4K edition. I haven't watched it for myself yet on 4K, but I'll probably do so in the next month or two, and you know maybe I'll make a judgment call then if I'm going to try to get the other import on it, but we'll see. Benedetta, I did like the film. It's really, kind of a solid drama, and showing support for some 4K releases internationally is always a good thing. So yeah, I'll let you know my thoughts somewhere, sometime when I see it, and give you my rundown on what I feel the color timing does on this particular release. This is another release that came out about a week or so ago. I was just going on vacation. Unfortunately, I would have liked to review this for the channel, but I got so much coming up, I won't be able to get to it. The Changeling on 4K, released by Severin, I think. Yeah, Severin. I'm a big fan of the film. Big fan of the film. So, very happy to have this one on 4K, and I don't know, I may throw in a review at some point and do it, but yeah, The Changeling on 4K, I'm anxious to check it out. And finally, for this month, Volume 3 of the Columbia Classics Collection from Sony. There's some lesser-known titles on this one, not some really huge heavy hitters, but I'm anxious to dive into this one really soon. I did a whole unboxing, and yeah, I'm a fan of a lot of these movies, but I can't wait to check out the 4K editions. Sony does normally a fantastic job. So yeah. The Columbia Classics Collection Volume 3 on 4K is part of my October haul. So that is everything I picked up on Blu Ray and 4K for October 2022. Let me know in the comments, what did you pick up this particular month, and what are you looking forward to in November? November is another heavy month for 4K releases, so let's talk about it down below. And also, if you're interested in any of these titles, I will leave an Amazon link in the comments section. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. So until next time, this is Adam, Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.